Let's play Homage the Hoop.
What it do, man? Homage the Hoops, man. We back at it. What's this? Episode 8? Episode 8, Homage the Hoops. Got my guy, the one and only Mel Johnson. What's up, brother?
What up, baby?
How you doing, dog?
You know how I go.
AKA Boogie Fresh. You know I had to give him that Boogie Fresh nickname. See my nigga
Facts.
hooping.
I almost put it on the back of my jersey.
Yeah, hey, how y'all feel about y'all nickname when y'all be getting them out there, man?
Nah, that shit.
How that shit came? You like, hold on now.
And nah, look, cause normally people be on the mic, they don't do it right. I was like, nah, you got the voice, you got the good commentary.
Yeah.
It's all about the commentary. That shit matters.
Right, because it make y'all. I be watching y'all like that.
I ain't gonna lie. Look, you be like, when I be coming down the court, you talking about Boogie Fresh. I'm about to hit this nigga with some shit.
He like, I gotta give him something.
That shit
right?
make me want to cross a nigga over.
Right, you gotta give him something.
Yeah, facts.
So yeah, man, I just appreciate you on the show, bro.
Love.
You know what I mean? And you know how I like to do. I like to start this thing. Let's pay some homage to the hoops, man. So let's get to it, man. When you first started getting to this thing and taking it serious, who was one of the first guys you saw that you was like, you know what, damn, this nigga right here, I gotta get my shit right. I gotta step my game up. Who was the first
locally?
Guy? Yeah. Who was the first guy?
John Gilchrist.
John Gilchrist.
Facts.
Where you saw him at? Where
Freshman year, he was a senior. We played them at Salem in the summer league. And
summer league takes, that's different.
He got the bopping, you know, his head get to move. I said, nah, he liked that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I'm trying to be like.
Uh-huh.
So that was the first guy when I was like, yeah, we got to arrive.
So what was that? What was that feeling, you know what I mean? Seeing that, you know what I mean, and playing against him. How was that feeling? You know what I mean?
I was the young buck, so it was like he was big time. He didn't even know who nobody was then, but I knew who he was. Right. And I'm like, shoot, my first varsity joints freshman in summer league. I'm gonna play against Gilchrist. Like, yeah, and then got switched on him, and I was like, welcome to varsity, my boy.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, bro. Mel Johnson, where you from? Portsmouth, Virginia, bro.
Yeah, I'm originally from Providence, but I was raised in Portsmouth.
Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, we from up north.
So you from? Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, we'll get to why you from there.
Yeah,
I know why. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all, what's up with it, young world? Look, man, it's Frank Lou here, man. I need y'all to do me a favor. Grab your phone and then go to the YouTube app. All right, at YouTube, hit search and type in "Must Achieve Greatness." All right, Must Achieve Greatness. If you don't know how to spell it, ask Google or Siri. They got you. Look, once you go onto the page, go ahead, hit the page, hit the link, go ahead, hit subscribe, man. Like all that king shit we got going on there. All right, y'all stay tapped in with the king, man. Holla at me.
That's a beautiful thing. So what made, when you make the trip down here to Portsmouth?
8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade.
Yeah. I've been a lot of places, man. I was in Providence, then I went to Detroit, went to Houston, then I came to VA.
You was a traveling man. Why you was doing a bunch of traveling going on? Well, that's because you got the NBA pops, the NBA pops?
Nah. I ain't experienced that NBA life. Me and my pops was more of the drug rehabilitation and incarceration. That's the era I came from. So that's why we moved around a lot when things happen. You know what I'm saying? I got to maneuver. So
you had to find a way.
Yeah, but it was the best thing ever, for real. That's what actually got me good in basketball.
Right, that right there.
Yeah, playing in different regions.
Right, so seeing the different styles.
Yeah,
of the game.
people on the East Coast hoop different from people on the Midwest. People in the Midwest hoop do it different from the South, and then VA is the Southeast. They hoop different from the North. So I was able to get all the regions. That's why I play every type of basketball. So. I could fit in. That's how you know you're nice. See, you can be nice, you be from one area, but can you go to Detroit and be nice? Can you go to Houston? Yeah. Can you go to, what I'm saying,
Can
Philly?
You take your game somewhere else?
Yeah.
So that's what's up. So what's your earliest form of basketball? Since you was doing so much moving, what was your earliest taste of basketball?
Shoot, they put a ball in my career from day one. You know what I'm saying? Basketball is in the family. Like that's what we do. All my uncles and cousins hoop. My pops hoop. Everybody hoop.
So what was your first organized?
4. Yeah, 4. I was a big kid. So I was playing with the 7-year-olds at 4.
Shit.
Yeah.
And how you felt there?
I was straight. I always been solid across the board. You know what I'm saying? It ain't.
Yeah, you got a high IQ out there.
Yeah.
I definitely give you that.
That's how it goes. It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
So, did you play any goddamn, you know what I mean, like middle school ball out? Where did you play? What was your middle school at?
Man, I went to Churchland Middle, and then I went to about 8 middle schools between Detroit, Houston, and then Churchland Middle. So.
Did you ever suit up for any of these schools?
Yeah, I played JV, 8th grade year.
Okay, out there in church.
Yeah, at Churchland, yeah.
Now, how was that? How was that?
It was my first humbling experience because we started off 9-1 and then I flunked off the team and we finished 9-7. So that was when I realized like Churchland need me.
And why you flunked? What was going on? What was...
Life circumstances, man. You know, at the time, pops using drugs, mom's working 2 jobs, no real structure, like just doing what I want to do, not worrying about school, more so just girls and sports. And I got humbled real quick.
Now, how was that seeing, you know, your father being, you know, this prominent athlete, and then to see him, you know, on these drugs and things like that. Let's tell him, you know, your father is Marvin Barnes,
Yeah,
you know, one of the greatest players, just hands down of all time. You know what I mean?
You got to Google him.
Yeah,
Bad
like
news.
literally, Bad News Marvin Barnes.
We
He
ain't
got a
talking about
documentary,
Newport
30 for 30. You know what I mean? He got it all. Like this guy did his thing. Played with the Spirits, played here, played NBA ball, played everywhere. Drafted
number
2 overall. You know, how was that to see this man? You know, who was so prominent at one point, and then he declined. You see the real Marvin Barnes at home.
So that's what makes my story a little different, man. Like I didn't experience the basketball. His career was over in 1980. I came in '84. So I didn't actually know that he was a basketball player and a star and who he really was until I was about 10 years old. And I was struggling with academics, so that's how I learned sports. My mom got some books, and then I ended up getting the college cyclopedia. So then I'm looking through the cyclopedia, I'm in NCAA, I go to 74 and I see a picture and I'm like,
hold on now.
Yo, like, that's Pops. So then I go to my mom and she like, well, you knew all this? I was like, nah, I just thought when we went to gyms and we went to places when I was younger, like, people just gravitated to him. I didn't know they was gravitating to him like that. So at this time when I'm reading this, he actually incarcerated. So, you know, that was another change. It's like, damn, you could have this lifestyle, but then it could transition. So that's something I picked up like at 11.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, at 11, would you say you grew up faster than others?
Yeah, definitely. Especially moving around a lot, you know, being my mom's only child, so I'm moving around, going to Detroit. I got to fend for myself. I go to Houston, you know what I'm saying, the mid-90s where gang violence was prominent, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming from the East Coast, and all I know is I ain't joining no gang. Mom Dukes ain't having that, so I had to go through that transition in Houston. And, you know, so it's about adapting. So, yeah, I was just fit to grow up fast, and that's how I go.
Now that's different. Now let's talk about the movements. Now you ain't just going up the street, city. You ain't just going Portland, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
You going from Detroit to Houston.
From Providence. I even spent 6 months in the Bronx before I got to Detroit.
Now how y'all getting there? What y'all plane, train, automobile?
Nah, mom's put me on the plane. That's what I'm saying. Maturing early. I was getting on the planes early, 7, 8, 9, Dolo. Like,
Dolo.
You got to go here for like a year. So I go there for a year, 2 years, depending on how Pop's situation is. You know what I'm saying? So once he got high too long, things, you know how that go with drugs. So it's like, yo, I got to protect my son. So she'll send me to Detroit. Then we got to Houston because he went to the rehab. The NBA, John Lucas, had a professional rehab. Wow. So even then, so when he used to go through his times after he got out of jail, we used to go work out. And I used to be in there, and that's when I met Vernon Maxwell and all the guys that used to actually use drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing all these dudes, and it just was something that made me understand life a little different.
So at these times, would you see your dad in these drug binges? Would you see him?
Yeah, man, that was every day. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is he relapsed 11 times in my life before I was 22. Wow. So he only went 27 months before then completely clean. Other than that, he would relapse every 8 to 12, every 8 to like 16 months. So that's all I seen. Like, I didn't see the basketball. Right. You know what I'm saying? All I seen was that. But I ended up finding out more and more. But, you know, we from the era the internet wasn't up. So
not yet.
It wasn't a lot of stuff to really do. I just know, like, there. But then I would also have a different path when he'll get clean. I did experience, like, the child of the NBA, especially when we was living in Houston because they had the professional team. So he got clean for about 27 months. Now we're in NBA locker rooms. I'm going to cookouts at Elijah Wan's house. And I'm looking at these kids. John Lucas, son, like, we was real tight. John Lucas that played in the NBA. Was real tight, young, like 12. And I'm like, I noticed I'm different. I'm like, just 6 months ago, man, like, we was in a 2-bedroom apartment, Pop's still in the car and all this stuff. Now he clean, we in a little condo. I'm at NBA cookouts, and I'm like, y'all. I'm looking at their houses, and I'm like, yo, we not the same.
Right.
But then that was the dynamic when I would come back. Like when I came to Portsmouth, it was the people like, hey, you don't even carry yourself like you from Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? But it's the dynamic. I'm really from a bigger city.
Right.
And then I also know how to. I seen both sides. So then it's like, I'm also not like these people.
Right.
So then it was like, I'm just different from everybody because not too many people could say they've been on all spectrums.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing and a curse.
Now, how did y'all find y'all way to Portsmouth, Virginia, man?
Man, you know, the military, my grandfather was in the military like 33 years, so my grandparents been down here since like 78. And then I also grew up in grandma's house, you know, eight first cousins, all boys. So that's how it was once I got to Portsmouth.
So that was a place that you was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay here. You always want to be?
Yeah, I came to VA every summer because you know what I'm saying, my grandma's house had all the cousins. So you know what I mean, every summer I'm like, Mom, when I'm going to VA.
Right.
So I was coming here every summer. I was just the cousin that went back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up, Vinny?
So let's talk about the, you know, you now, the JV era. You know, it's 8th grade. You growing up. You ain't doing the middle school thing. What point did you realize, you know, I'm actually, you know, better than what I actually know in the game of basketball? You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, I always knew I was good. Like, every team I played on, I was known for being skillful. You know what I'm saying? I was just a big kid. So even with JV starting off 9-1, I knew like I'm the best player on our team. Like, it just is what it is. So then when I flunked off, I ended up going to 8th grade the next year. Then we went to high school, and I went straight to varsity.
Now, how was that on you? You know, going straight to varsity, and then, you know, at this point, I'm pretty sure now you up on the history of your father. How is that? You know what I mean? What do you know, you trying to create a legacy for yourself now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And honestly, at that time, man, like I said, basketball is just like, I didn't express that my pops played in the league. So basketball was me and my mom. Like,
and this is because, and why is that? This is like a, you know, something on you feel like, I don't.
Nah, it was more of like, I don't want to express that my pops played in the league because then they'll say, where your pops at? And he was either in jail or getting high. So I would just keep that to myself. Yeah. And it was just me and my mom. You know, nobody in high school, nobody really knew except for close friends.
So you was trying to basically keep them under.
Nah, I wasn't even trying. Just that was life. Cause I was really, you know, I grew up I was in a single home now, so it was like he wasn't around, so it wasn't no beef. Like that's my guy. Yeah. Like it just basketball wasn't our thing.
Right.
Yeah, that was me and my mom's. Like basketball was her and his.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was the same thing. So she came to every game. She after the game, she like, you ain't boxed out on this. You need to get better on defense. You know what I'm saying? My mom know more basketball than regular people, most men.
So how was that relationship? You know, you and mom coming up.
That's all it is. You know, I go. We grew up. We black, man. We grew up in that single parent home, man. So you know, our moms is everything.
Ah, hell yeah.
So that's you know, I already know she ain't never missed a game until I went to college.
Yeah,
that was it. Like one thing about it, mom gonna be at that game.
Be out there.
We gotta have 700 people. Only voice I can hear is hers.
Right. She gonna let you know she out there
all the time.
And that's a beautiful thing. So would you say what mentality would you say you carried out there going into that freshman year? You know what I'm saying?
That I know that I should be starting, but I'm a freshman, so I was like the 6th, 7th man, and I had a role. You know what I'm saying? But even as a freshman, I was like I'm better than everybody. But that was just inside. I never was the type to express that. We had some nice players. Really real nice players. Fish, Paul Jones.
So Marcus Fisher was there?
Yeah.
What year was he?
He finished 02.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was, you know what I mean, doing his thing. Like he doing now. Ain't nothing changed.
Now, how was that coming in and seeing him, you know what I mean, on that varsity level already, and he's performing? At that level, he performing at?
At that time, you know, even though that was my peer, you know what I'm saying, the age, he was ahead in grade. So I never had that, like, look up to. But I just knew, like, it was a respect thing. Like, yeah, he going to rebound, he going to score. It's like, yeah. So it was just like, you just wait your turn.
So how good was y'all? How good would you say
my freshman year, man, we actually started off 11-0. And then we finished 13-11.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, So church, see, the thing is with churching is, man, we got a lot of talent. We had a lot of
Yeah.
talent, but we had a lot of egos too. So like even in the summer leagues, even though we'll get to that more, this was more like sophomore, junior year. We won all the summer leagues. We beat like Nazarene River, we beat Heritage, we beat Woodside.
Yeah.
See, but because we from Portsmouth, so we just out there hooping in the summer. There's
Yeah,
no plays.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we
We
Portsmouth.
just
You know how
ball.
I go.
Pick up ball. We balling.
They can't. None of them could beat us in that capacity. But when the season come, newspapers, plays, that's how I go. So we was always in the middle of the pack. The Eastern District was really deep at that time.
Yeah, it's tough.
Maury, Lake Taylor, Booker T, Norview, and Granby. You know what I'm saying? Woodbury, Jonathan Vincent, Jamel Hamilton, Wiggins. You know what I'm
Brian
saying?
Wiggins, yeah.
David Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Teams was
Yeah,
deep.
doing their
So
thing.
we used to have like 4 teams in the district in the top 10.
Right.
So we was like the 5th team, but we was the team that nobody wanted to play because we never got blown out.
Right.
But it's just we could never close because it goes back to the egos and
The discipline.
team camaraderie. But that was the coaching more so.
Who was the head coach over there? That was a good question.
My first 2 years was Carroll, and then my last 2 years was Honore.
How was that?
It was cool. Carroll was great. You know what I'm saying? Honore, he put us in a good position. We probably needed some more assistant coaches, but nah, that's still my guy for life. And, he a legend. I don't know if you know.
Right.
Shout
I
out to
heard him.
PJ,
Yeah,
28 points as a senior.
yeah.
Like, that's tough.
Yeah. Nah, that's big.
That's real tough.
That's big. So how was it, after that, coming in now sophomore year, what is they saying about you on the varsity?
Sophomore year, I became, I go in the newspaper. You can't wait to open up that paper
And see what's going on there.
key players. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My freshman year, I averaged 9 points. I was more so just a catch and shoot in the corner. You know how
9
they do
points off the
freshmen.
pound.
Yeah, 3 threes. That's how I go.
That's how
I
you
ain't
did
do
it.
nothing but shoot threes and pass the ball. You know how I go freshman role. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rebound.
Right.
And sophomore year, key player. You know what I'm saying? And was best player on the team then. And double
Every night.
every night. Played the 4, but did what I wanted to do on offense. But yeah, we did double. I think my freshman year sophomore year I was 12 and 10.
Easy.
Yeah.
So how y'all feel? How church done feel that year?
Like I said, that year we had 4 teams in the top 10. So I think that year we finished 6, maybe 500. So that was the motivation going into the summer. It was like that's when I started this weight loss journey, and it was like yo, we got. I'm tired of us coming in short. You know what I'm saying? So the junior year was way better. I think we went 15 and 10, finished 5th.
Right.
Still had 4 top 10 teams in the state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I go.
Now, how was it playing in the summers? Were you in the Boo Williams envelope? How was that?
Yeah, I played for all the AUT. I played for Boo Williams B team though. Played for the Richmond Squires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I went.
How was it playing Boo Williams B team?
It was cool. I got called up to the A team a couple of times, but I go out at that time. I'm 6'4", 250, playing the 4. You got 6'9", 210. You know what they're gonna do, but skillful wise, like that's why they always kept me around.
Right. Yeah.
So-
You always had something off out there.
Yeah.
So coming into that junior year, like you said, what are your offers looking like? What is the collegiate scale looking like for you?
I had a lot of D2s. I had more so D2s at that time because that's like I said, I was just
The
going down to
undersized.
250.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they always liked the skills, but they was like, we see more football.
So why not at that era? Well, this is the era. If you a big guy, if you 6'3", goddamn it, and you got a little weight on your ass going to the post.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then,
Yeah.
So did you have a handle back then?
Yeah, always
You
had
always
the
was
handles.
boogie fresh in them
Man,
back
listen, I was always known for like the big guy with handles.
then.
Like I was from 9th grade, 10th grade, I was always known like I'm gonna pass the ball. Magic was my favorite player growing up, but in Barkley. So I was the
Yeah,
two.
I see that in your
You know
game.
what I'm saying? Even if you watch my game now, it's after people. Chris Webber ended up being in the 90s. That's why you see me pass out the post. You know what I'm saying? Then Grant Hill, Scottie Pippen. That's why I'm such a team player. I do everything. And then in high school, that's when the handles, it was Baron Davis. And that's when I transitioned.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I can see that. In that
So
little box.
that became my guy. And then you know how I go.
That's crazy, man. So what was the highest D2?
Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was that? Because Union, at this time they was a little powerhouse. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
now that time they weren't a powerhouse, but they was on the rise.
Okay.
And we could get to that to the college era later when we talk about some things, but some mistakes that
right.
we
Oh yeah,
been
we
a part
definitely
of.
is. Yeah, we definitely is. Were they on you hard? They were on you hard at that time?
Yeah, he was just showing interest. You know, I was a junior. They was the first school that was like, yo, we want you to work on your weight.
How'd you feel about that? You know, this Division II. You know, because you know, as in that era too, you know, we all wanted to go even kids. We all want to go D1. So now I would say now the kids, you know, in our era we probably be more accepting of that.
Yeah.
Now these niggas ain't. Everybody thinking D1. Gotta go D1. You know what I mean? So how was that feel of a D2 coming to you? You know
that was always my childhood dream was to go D1. Mm-hmm. So like getting that offer and them saying like you need to work on your body. That's when like I said my sophomore year I started. I had some D3s. Then junior year that's when I got some D2s. Barton.
Barton College.
Yeah. Gannon. And the Union.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then that's when I went down to about 248 going into my senior year.
So how that senior year feel for you in church?
The senior year was our best year. You know what I'm saying? I just understood like I'm trying to go to college. We got to be successful. So I'm like, I got to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Coach gave me the green light. Me and Derek Williams, you know what I'm saying? He ended up being second in the district of scoring. Like we had the green light, but I was more so like, yo, I'm trying to win. That's how we get seen. So ended up having a great year. We ended up going 17-12. So that was our best season. Finished fourth in the Eastern District. Won two Christmas tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Good year. And that's where I ended up getting the JUCO situation.
Okay, let's talk about that. So at the end of the year, what was the scholarships looking like?
So I had Union, Norfolk State, Hampton, but I didn't have the SATs. And then I ended up getting the Kent State offer to get a partial in football and basketball. So my senior year, I played football. I made first team Eastern District. So I actually had more scholarships for football than basketball.
So let's talk about that because a lot of these kids don't know. Academically, you got to do well to get into these schools, man, or you got to go another route. Right. You know what I mean? So let's talk about that. Tell them one time.
So you know, I didn't take SAT serious. You know what I'm saying? So after the first 5 minutes, I started playing tic-tac-toe. You know what I'm saying? I just know it ain't gonna be A twice. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like CB, all right, do CC here. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding that this is important. You know what I'm saying? But it was a blessing in disguise. So I never ended up getting the SAT scores, and Kent State offered me a partial, and then they was like they wanted me to go to a JUCO in Kansas, and I went out there to visit, and it was nothing. It was like Suffolk. It was worse than Suffolk.
Right.
Yeah, like the old Suffolk, not Suffolk now, like Suffolk 1992.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Smithfield. It was like that.
You out there.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, college is a different world. They welling. I'm looking for Whitley.
Right.
So that's when the football.
He told me he looking for Whitley.
Looking for Whitley, dog. You know what I'm saying? So the football dream was over.
This motherfucker thought he was on a different world.
Yeah, different world. I was
fan.
Hey, look, you see the J's? I was Dwayne Wayne, man. That was one of my role models. Yeah, flip the glasses up, son.
You thought you was good.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find the light skin joint.
But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. If you want to catch more of this content, you need to go on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button. What is it? Must Achieve Greatness? That's Must Achieve Greatness. Hit the subscribe button. You'll catch the full episodes, man. We got a hell of a lineup for y'all. We got plenty more people coming. Appreciate y'all tuning in on the live, man. We'll catch y'all next time on Homage to Hoops. Appreciate you.
We were young. We ain't know no better. Adolescents, you know. As we grew, now it's grown to something bigger. And I love it and I can respect it. Now we all just entrepreneurs and trying to build our brand. MAG it's a brand, you know. The acronym Must Achieve Greatness. Striving for greatness.
King shit.